all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Nerd.
Welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Of course, I'm your host, Lance Migliaccio, with my co-host, George Ballantine. Kill him with the truth, bury him with a smile. That's how we do it on this show each and every single episode. We're trying to bring you the truth, the facts, the sauce, the evidence. Don't really care what you call it. It's what we do. We investigate and check out the stories. Hopefully, we don't make any mistakes. And what we don't do is not talk about topics because somebody told us not to. We just don't. Go after both sides of the aisle. Because, you know, we're fighting, I think, to really get our country back on track. And you have to be concerned about everybody. It's got to keep your situational awareness up. George B., my brother, how are you? What's going on this morning?
I just got a text message, and it looks like one of them scam text messages.
Oh, yeah. Did they offer you a career at YouTube?
No, it's saying, for the Verizon outage. Actually, Verizon is offering a $20 credit to its customers, but to redeem it, you actually go into your Verizon mobile app, and there'll be a redeem button there. I did it, and here's the text message coming up with a stupid number. So don't fall for that crap, everybody.
I've noticed a big upsurge in these scammy text messages, and you know what else I've noticed? And I don't know how it happened. My mom's gotten on some sort of a list. She's constantly receiving emails that are gimmicks to get access to her, any kind of investment accounts or bank accounts. There's always some excuse of why. And it's always almost like a security thing. It's really amazing the amount of things that are out there. My mom's 93, so maybe it's a list somebody hacked from AARP or something. I can't tell you, but keep your eyes open. Especially
is it going to her spam folder?
Man, I think it's both. She just pulls me in there. She uses her iPad. She doesn't use the computer.
Well, you need to look, and then you just got to hit there's a thing. It's our iPad. Yeah. You got to hit unsubscribe.
Yeah, I've done a lot of that for her, but it's the trickiness of it. What I was trying to say, and I've got her, condition where she doesn't do any of it, right? But it's interesting. I believe a lot of that stuff has ramped up. I feel like there's a little more desperation. I don't know why, but it feels like maybe people are doing more of this sort of thing. And I don't know. It's like one of those things. I get a lot of text messages about these scammy job offers, and I think they're trying to get your social security number and your information.
They're trying to get into your bank accounts. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on my end, I don't know what it is. Yeah, of course. I think the end game is getting your bank accounts, but it's interesting how they say, "Oh, we've got your name, and you've been a trusted person that we'd like to hire you to come over and help us do marketing at YouTube." Or it's always some scammy BS. But anyway, keep your eyes open and protect your loved ones because these people are.
I want to find one and get them on the phone where they said, "Oh, they're going to give you a credit," and they mistakenly send, instead of $500 credit, they send $50,000. They need you to send the money back, but you have to do this, and that. I want to do that. Take the $50,000 and say, "See ya."
Yeah, no kidding. At the end of the day, you only hope you have an opportunity to do something like that. But if you like the show, you know what to do. Thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. If you can do the $5 paid subscription, it's a great way to thank us. It's automatic billing. We appreciate that. If you want to do a crypto tip, we've got the Rumble crypto wallet up. You could be the first. We haven't received any crypto tips yet. But,
who wants to be George's first? You always remember their first. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Just saying.
And listen, if you want to make it half a dozen Bitcoin or so, feel free. We could use it. We'll grow the show with it. We'll try to expand our voice. And of course, Rumble Rant tips. It's Friday. You can throw a couple into the can for us. We always appreciate you guys. And thank you for joining us. And we got a lot of subscribers this week. I think there's a reason for it. I'm not going to go into the details, but I appreciate the vote of confidence that you guys have decided that we're your go-to show. Got to keep your man card on this show. This is a no goober show. We want any Tim Waltzes here. This is got to protect our listeners and subscribers, the men and women that watch this show. We do want to say thank you for giving us that vote of confidence. All right. Let's see. George, do we have a set the mood or no?
Hold on a second.
I know you're working on it. He was having a little trouble with the download, something going on in Notion, but there's a lot of big news today. I was actually surprised about the story. George found it and he brought it to me. It's about this TrumpCare, this new healthcare plan, the great healthcare plan they're going at. And it's pretty exciting. But the reason I'm surprised is, the medical industrial complex in DC is powerful. It's kind of like what he just announced on mortgages. I mean, he did three things that really surprised me in a row. That not because he didn't commit to doing this, it's because I'm surprised he did. Number one, the fact that I know it's only a year, but the fact that interest rate credit card interest rate is going to be maxed at 10% for an entire year. I was surprised about that because, the credit card companies, the banks, powerful. They don't want that kind of stuff to happen. They want to crack you at the 30%. Now, I'd love to see a limit, a max limit. Let me finish and then we'll jump in. I want to see a max limit on the credit cards, and I want to see at least 5 years of that 10% for people. I really do. I'd like to see people get an opportunity to pay down all their debt. That's number one. Then he went after the housing stuff that I've always been unhappy with, this acquisition of BlackRock and other companies, buying up all the distressed properties, not leaving anything for you, and of course, hyperinflating the market. So between those companies hyperinflating the market, right? On top of that, then you had this mass influx of people that Joe Biden did with the open borders, and they're all renting houses or buying houses. So that drove the prices up even more and created a false rental environment where prices went through the roof. More expensive than ever, people suffering. And now he's going after the medical industrial complex, of course, the insurance companies, really. And he's saying, we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to pay people. And we're going to get into that in a minute. We've got a little set the mood. I like this one. It was a combo one. Gave me all kinds of ideas. But this one I thought was, and if you know the movie, then you'll know what they're pulling it from. Let's play. That was the iconic scene, of course, AI'd out. It was Tom Cruise when he dressed up as the agent in the movie Tropic Thunder. A surprising role for him, but it was well done. Everybody loved him. I think they called him Les something or other. I can't remember now, but he even did that iconic figure. I think he did it at the Golden Globes or maybe the Oscars. He came out dressed as that individual. You haven't seen it, pretty funny, although it's difficult to watch because there are a couple of anti-American actors in there nowadays. And I have a difficulty doing that. I don't know if you guys are doing the same thing. I struggle when I see people like De Niro in a movie. I won't even watch his movies anymore. And that's happening a lot. Too many of these actors, they ought to stay in their lane. Stop with the dumb shit. So, George, you had made a good suggestion. I struggled with some sleep last night, guys. Last night I didn't sleep very well. And George had a solution. And I didn't, it's funny, I didn't even think of it last night as I was struggling. I should have, because I had some here. And it would have been a much better solution than what I did, which was I was up till about 3 a.m.
Lance, I'm willing to send you mine. Because I don't want to deal with your crabby ass when you don't get sleep. Because you know what, Lance? What if your only resolution this year was to get better sleep, Lance? Just imagine how much more energy you'd have. You'd handle stress better. You'd handle dealing with George better. Pretty much all your goals would be easier, right? That's why the smart way to start 2026 is with CBD from CB Distillery. Get this, over 90% of CBD customers say they sleep better with CBD. That's tough to beat. And when you sleep better, everything feels easier, even dealing with me. And CB Distillery has options for more than just sleep solutions. They have solutions for stress relief, mood, and pain after workouts. You can shop by benefits, so it's easy to find what you're looking for. Now, I had knee replacement surgery back in February. It's going to be coming up on almost a year. And I use this CBD cream. It's called Ooh. And Ooh was right because I rubbed it on there. I didn't, listen, no narcotics. The day I left out, same day surgery, I only took over-the-counter Tylenol and Ooh from CBD. Worked great. Was in physical therapy 2 days later. Everything from CB Distillery is premium quality, third-party tested, and free of artificial dyes or fillers. And they have over 2 million happy customers, and a 100% money back guarantee. So if you're ready to start the year off right, go to cbdistillery.com, use my code BIGMIG for 25% off. That's cbdistillery.com, code BIGMIG. Once again, cbdistillery.com. Now, specific product availability depends on individual state regulations. I got the QR code right here. Take a screenshot, save your photo files, and it'll take you right there. Not now, but later. All right, Lance.
You know, George, if you're having a hard day, do you ever think of goats as a way to kind of have a better day? Do you ever feel like that?
No, but the attorney in Minnesota is using goats.
Yeah.
I will say those little baby goats are cute, though. The little baby ones, like the miniature goats.
You mean the new? Yeah, I agree with you. Those little goats, the way they jump,
the miniature
around,
ones, yeah.
Yeah, I wish they would stay that size. I always talk about that. A little baby. But the problem was, if they did stay that size, I'd probably have goats in my house, knowing my wife, because they would be the size of our dogs. She'd be like, "Oh, we need some of those little mini goats to accompany our dogs." Those little goats are very cute. I agree with it. The goat posting about them, I like looking at the posts. They make me, I don't know what it is. I love animals anyway. But what's up with this? I saw that, and this is the. And you guys in the audience, let's tell me in the chat. As everybody knows, I am not a very touchy-feely guy, with the exception of my animals. I don't have that, hypersensitive, thin-skin thing. Do you guys feel like that?
You don't?
No.
When it comes to animals, you do, bro.
That's what I said.
I actually just checking. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, animals. I said that animals are the ones soft spot. I do have a very soft spot for animals.
So all you got to do, anybody, if you're a human being, identify as an animal, and Lance will have a soft spot for you. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. it might work, although I'd probably look at you and realize you weren't an animal.
Doesn't matter.
But here's the deal. I just don't, when it comes to state taxpayer funds, when it comes to these state governments and the federal government, this misuse of funds, because that this AG didn't, this attorney didn't pay for this. Somehow they needed, so they're calling it a healing circle. And I'm just struggling with that, how they could waste when so many people are having a hard time, and that they're going to get a healing circle because of ICE in Minneapolis. Now, George, I don't know how you feel about that, but for me, I'm kind of disgusted by that. If these people can't handle their job, that they don't need to have a healing circle of goats that somehow is going to help them through their day. It's like I want to walk in there and just slap them.
I wish I had one.
Bring them back into
I wish I had one of them videos of the baby goats right now.
You could probably find one while I'm talking. There's so many baby goat videos.
I probably could, but
share it with the audience. It's Friday, George. Find a baby goat video for the audience. Come on. You can find a little baby goat video.
I can find anything, bro.
But here's the deal. Do you guys feel like, and I want to hear from you in the chat, do you feel like a state government should do these kind of things? Or is it just me? Am I just a dick? Am I too hardcore? And you know how I am. I'm probably the extreme version of what men are. Maybe I'm maybe too much. Do you feel like that if somebody's having a hard time and they're, oh my God, emotionally? Now, don't forget the also government causes that, because can you imagine walking in? I would never walk into my business and ask this question. You walk in and say, is everybody okay today? Is everybody emotionally okay? Because Health and Human Resources is ready to listen to you. We've got psychologists standing by, and we have a healing circle today. It's a healing circle of goats. If you guys are having a hard time struggling with ICE is doing to our community, tearing it apart, arresting illegal immigrants and criminals, if you're suffering, let us know. Now, we've set up a hotline, 1-800-I'm-a-pussy. That's right, 1-800-I'm-a-pussy. You can call that number and you'll get instant relief. I mean, does anybody out there feel like that not only does that perpetuate this pussydom, and I don't know where these people came from. We were the people, at least my age group, that we grew up on the rusty jungle gyms. We drank out of the hoses. Our parents had to be reminded to look for us. An idea of, you ripped open your leg, and what does your mom do? She sprayed Bactine, or what was that thing called, methylate, that red stuff, and goes, okay, you're fine, go. It wasn't like you got a lot of candy assing. You know what I mean? I mean, I got, you got hit with, dog leashes and wooden spoons and fly swatters and you name it. I mean, we got cracked. I mean, if we screwed up at my friends' houses, the mother would throw slippers at us. We'd have to run. You know what I mean? And you weren't supposed to go in and just free range and take whatever you wanted out of the kitchen. It was like you ate at the meal times.
Lance, are you feeling some type of way right now? Do you need? Lance, let me help you.
Do
out.
I need baby goats? George, please, George.
Boom, boom, bop, bam. The type of shit I'm on, you wouldn't understand. The type of skits I'm on, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, I need more. Maybe we need a big baby goat in the studio. But then you got it. Then it grows from a baby goat to a big goat.
No, I thought they have miniature baby goats now.
Well, they do. I mean, there's the Nubians and there's others, and they're small, but they're still not as small as you. What you want is a tabletop goat. I'm sure eventually they'll make them. It's kind of like everybody talks about tabletop elephants. I'm not sure that's a great idea, but with what they're doing with the genetics, who knows where it's all heading. But I just think when you offer these kind of services, George, George, are you okay? ICE, are you feeling a certain kind of way, George? Is ICE affecting you emotionally? Do you need Health and Human Resources? Do you need to call them and talk to them? Maybe a couple of days off paid leave. Are you going to be okay, George? I think that perpetuates a pussydom of people that are weak. I think you have to forge people in fire. I honestly do. I think that is not a way to deal with it. And asking them just moves it on. And then you give them an excuse. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to need a couple of days off after the trauma I experienced of ICE. That woman getting shot. I don't know if I can come into work for the next couple of weeks.
I don't know. I'm reading the chat right now. I don't know what's going on. Good news, Jim. What's the matter? You don't like baby goats, bro? It is what it is. It's the Big Show. We do what we do. But somebody said, right. Somebody smacked you and said, quit crying before I give you a reason.
Exactly.
I don't know who that's
is
for.
What happened, right?
I don't know if that's for you, Lance, or what, but.
No, but it's right. It's right. That's what our parents used to say to us. I mean, that was the kind of stuff.
I know.
Crack, you know what I mean? If you mouthed off, you were going to get popped.
I had that big wooden spoon. It was like this big.
Yeah.
Hanging on the wall.
We took some ass whoopings, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I just think that what we're creating is a circle of this.
You even bring out the spoon and show it to a kid today? And just hold it. Like you're not going to hit him. Yeah. Man, they're on the phone calling DIFUS on you.
Yeah, they're going to call that child care services. I mean, take away their phone. And you've seen the videos where they wreck their parents' house. God forbid you thought you were going to pull a move like that. You would never have a phone. Your phone would be like, if you pulled a move like that, as
oh my God, I feel sorry.
Would you have gotten a beating? You would never have anything. They would have gutted your room. They'd have been like, okay, you go to your room and you walk in, you'd be lucky if there'd be a bed. There might be a mattress and everything else would be gone. All your stuff would have been gone. You would have been like, yeah, you'll get it back when you're 18. But that's the key, right? It's cause and effect. If you don't have accountability, that's what happens. It's the same thing with our government. No consequences, no accountability. Then they're going to do whatever they want. But Trump, this is a big move, George. And I think the big insurance companies, he's ready to make them lose, which I'm shocked. Did you hear all the details? Did you hear how he's going to only allow them to charge us for prescription drugs at the lowest price anywhere in the world? It's no more where the U.S. pays all the R&D, where you're paying $100 or $200 for your insulin, and everywhere else it's $8 or $10. He's saying, nope, that's not going to work like that anymore. Let's play the clip, and I want to hear your thoughts because there's a lot of things he said in this. If they come to fruition, and I believe he's going to, because he hates Obamacare. He doesn't want something called Obama at all in government, because you know how he feels about it.
He wants everything to say Trump on it, believe it or not. Come on, we know that.
No, but he's not calling it TrumpCare, is he? He actually didn't say that yesterday. It's not called TrumpCare, but
it's going to be called TrumpCare?
Yeah, you're right.
Come on.
You're right. It's going to be, it's just like the Trump Kennedy Center or whatever the hell it's called now. All right, let's go.
All right, here we go. TrumpCare for everybody.
Today, I'm thrilled to announce my plan to lower healthcare prices for all Americans and truly make healthcare affordable again. We're doing things that nobody's ever been able to do. We're calling it the Great Healthcare Plan. Instead of putting the needs of big corporations and special interests first, our plan finally puts you first and puts more money in your pocket. The government is going to pay the money directly to you. It goes to you and then you take the money and buy your own health care. Nobody's ever heard of that before, and that's the way it is. The big insurance companies lose, and the people of our country win. This proposal locks in the massive discounts on prescription drugs that my administration is achieving through our most favored nation drug pricing agreement. Now, when you hear about that, for 40 years they've been trying to do it, but they never were able to do it. No other president was able to do it. I got every other country to approve it by the use of tariffs and other things. They all approved it. Nobody else got it. No other president got it. And for the most part, they didn't even try because they felt it was impossible. It'll bring down drug prices 80, 90%, in some cases, just numbers that nobody's ever heard of before. Your prescription drugs will come way, way down. And under this policy, the prices of many drugs will be slashed by 300, 400, and even 500% starting this month at the TrumpRx.gov. So instead of Americans paying the highest drug prices in the world, which we have for decades, we will now be paying the lowest cost paid by any other nation. So any other nation that's paying the lowest cost, that's what we're going to pay. And the American people will get the savings. So I have to reiterate, the lowest price in the world is what you're going to pay. Before, you were paying the highest price in the world by far, and the politicians did nothing about it. So I'm asking Congress to complete the work that we've started. Next, my plan would reduce your insurance premiums by stopping government payoffs to big insurance companies and sending that money directly to the people. Obamacare was designed to make insurance companies rich. I call it the Unaffordable Care Act, with billions of dollars in taxpayer subsidies that helped their stock prices skyrocket over 1,700%, as you paid more money for health care every single year, more and more. The premiums went higher and higher. I want to end this flagrant scam and put extra money straight into the healthcare savings account in your name, and you go out and buy your own healthcare, and you'll make a great deal. You get better healthcare for less money. That way you can choose the care that is right for your family. To further reduce insurance premiums, my plan ends the giant kickbacks to insurance brokers and corporate middlemen that only drive up the costs, and that's what they're intended to do, drive up the cost. But we're driving down the costs. And it fully funds a long neglected part of the law known as the Cost Sharing Reduction Program. This measure alone should cut premiums on the most popular Obamacare plans. It's hard to believe there are any because it's a hated program. It's unaffordable, but it's going to cut them by an average of 10 to 15%. Next, the Great Healthcare Plan. That's the name. It's called the Great Healthcare because it's great healthcare at a lower price. Mandates unprecedented accountability and transparency from insurance companies and all healthcare providers so that special interests can no longer profiteer at your expense. As the saying goes, sunlight is the best disinfectant. That is why my plan orders all insurance companies to publish rate and coverage comparisons in very plain English. It requires insurers to publish detailed information about how much of your money they're going to be paying out in claims versus how much they're taking in profits. In other words, you will be able to watch the scam. It forces them to release detailed data on how many claims are being denied and whether those denials are eventually overturned on appeal. And most importantly, it will require any hospital or insurer who accepts Medicare or Medicaid to prominently post all prices at their place of business so that you are never surprised and you can easily shop for a better deal or better care. And you're going to end up doing both. You're going to get a better deal and better care. We will have maximum price transparency and costs will come down incredibly. I'm calling on Congress to pass this framework into law without delay. Have to do it right now so that we can get immediate relief to the American people, the people I love. Thank you very much.
Trump RX. So here's the thing. Is this going to drive premiums down too?
That is a very good question. That is exactly what I was wondering.
Because it's saying like, I mean, all right, if you think if the drug costs are going to be cheaper, then the premium should be cheaper. Because it's premiums that are killing a lot of people too. They can't afford even health insurance or Obamacare. That's why they're trying to push the subsidies to, because it's unattainable. It's it.
Yeah. So the question is, will the insurance companies lower their premiums?
Well, here's the thing. When Biden was president and they had the House and Senate, how come they didn't fix this? They could have fixed it, but they didn't. Because, they're so in bed with all the drug companies and stuff. But this is long overdue. Why the hell are we paying, let's say, whatever, $1,000 for an insulin when Canada's paying $20, Mexico's paying $20? Why do we got to get fucked?
Yeah.
It's about time we start fucking everybody else.
The prescription drug thing isn't easy peasy because we already know what they're charging around the world. That's why people have been going to Mexico to get the prescriptions, going to Canada, going to India, having their meds shipped in, right? Because they don't want to pay these ridiculous rates. And it's true. The line by line comparison is out of control. But I'm concerned about what the insurance companies are they going to lower their premiums? Because people that are paying for insurance right now out of their own pocket that don't have any of the programs are talking about these massive premium bills. The question is, how much are they going to put in our insurance account? So hopefully Trump's looked at all that. I'm not an insurance expert.
Oops. Sorry.
Insurance makes me cringe most of the time. So, all right, let's talk about how to handle fake news losers.
Lance, I'm not done, man. You just keep talking. Like, maybe I want to say something else, bro. Thank you. So he's calling on Congress to get this framework passed, right? If the Republicans are smart, because midterms are coming up, you want to start gaining some favorability because we ain't seeing no arrests, nothing like that. This is a good way to start. Because the Democrats are going to come out, midterms are going to attack the healthcare because they didn't want to fund the Obama subsidies, ACH subsidies. They're going to attack not only healthcare, they're going to attack immigration, even though it's a losing battle. Even the polls have shown they're talking on the fake news. Those are things they're going to attack. They're going to come out saying, "Oh, Trump is a dictator." They're going to use the ICE and all that crap. But you know what? If they get this passed, it's a win-win for everybody. Not only Republicans, it's a win for every American. So get it passed. All right, Lance, press secretary. Go ahead.
No, I've got to tell you, now that you opened up that can of worms, now you're going to have to listen.
I don't got to listen to nobody. I have the buttons.
Here's my problem with
Congress. You always got to piggyback. Can't just let me get the last word.
Here's my problem with Congress. They're cowards. And they're traitors. They're bought and paid for. They're bought and paid for. The problem is that the medical industry lobbyists and the amount of money, and I've said it all along, we need an executive order that when you open your mouth on the floor of Congress, you have to acknowledge what industries you took money from and who gave you the money. So if you got money from Moderna, Pfizer, any, Blue Cross Blue Shield, whoever you got money from, if it went into your election campaign, you have to acknowledge that when you open your fat mouth on the floor. And that's the problem. The problem with our congressional members, the majority of them are bought and paid for. And that's what they do, that they always go with, and always says, oh, they're rhinos. It's not. They vote with their wallets. They vote with their bank accounts. They vote with the grift. So the fact that the congressional members have to help Donald Trump with this and that the Republicans can't do anything to align, they're selling us out constantly. And the Democrats, they don't care. They're some of the biggest thieves down there. They might be the biggest thieves. I'm sure you'll get Schumer and Schiff and all the regular assholes, and they're going to talk about how this isn't a good plan and it's going to make the American people suffer. All right, let's talk about how you handle fake news losers. I like this, Caroline Levitt. I like her. I think she's doing the job the way it needs to be done. Posers and losers, left-wing hacks. Let's play the clip.
You want to play it first? Okay.
Earlier, you were just defending ICE agents generally, and earlier on, Secretary Noem spoke to the media, and she said, among other things, that they are doing everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 U.S. citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed it unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised and your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Lake and Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist.
Okay, so if I was the press secretary, or if I was Caroline Levitt, first things first, when he said, first of all, he's got a fucking accent. What is he even doing in the White House? Go back to your country and go report your fake news. First and foremost. Second, when he says to her, well, what do you want me to do? I would have fucking looked him in the eye, pointed at him like, I want you to tell the truth. I don't want your opinion. Also, what she should be doing is like, when somebody comes at dumb questions, shit like that, I would have a monitor back there, and I would have those clips ready of that incident and put it up, do it all the angles, the slow-mo, all that stuff, and then ask him, now what do you think? And if he's still, wants to lie and this and that, I would throw his ass out of the fucking press room right then and there and set an example. That's the only way, because they're going to keep lying, keep deceiving the public. That's why you got to come to the Big Mig Show, because we're going to give you the facts, the truth, the sauce.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Mainstream media, that's what they do, though, right? You could see that the way he tilted, he's got his 5 minutes of fame. He's now got a video clip, and you could see the way that whole thing was worded. It's no different than an activist judge in a way. When you see the bias coming from the bench because their political beliefs or who they were appointed by, it's terrible. And when media presents a false narrative, it perpetuates a cycle of division and chaos here in the United States. They're still talking about what happened up in Minneapolis. Listen, that bitch shouldn't have used her car as a weapon. It's that simple. She shouldn't have tried. The ICE agent was in front of them. They told her to stop. She wanted to be down there because she was going to go down there and create some havoc, her and her lesbian wife, right? They went down there to create havoc, acting like they're going to change the world. And I have to be honest, I don't think the majority of Americans, I think if you asked them this question and they would answer it honestly, if you said, okay, so look, we're going to import a bunch of people. We can import these people all here that all have, criminal history, that don't really have any career tools. They're going to come in here and they're going to use our social services. They're going to get everything for free. But we can import, there's as many of those as we want. We can import all of them. Or we can import doctors, lawyers, engineers, tech experts, AI experts. These are all people over here we can import. So which one should we import? Do you want a bunch of criminals and people that say they want a better life, but they're really just coming here to steal from the government and go on social services and not work, have a bunch of kids and just milk the system? Or do you want the professionals? Do you want the people that can add to society? Take your pick. We'll do either one. You guys choose. And I don't think a liberal would say, "Oh, we're gonna get a bunch of these people over here," and they're gonna say, "Oh, well, are these people over here? Are they suppressed? Are they fighting their own governments?" Those are the rarities. That's not what we brought in. They wanted a ghost voter pool. They wanted a pool of voters that we weren't going to know where they were. They were going to move all over the country, that they would say, oh, I don't know where this person is, but you won't believe it. They voted for Joe Biden. They voted for Kamala Harris. Here, I've got their mail-in ballot right here in my hand. That's what they wanted to do. It was all about that. And they don't care about the division. They enjoy the division and chaos. They enjoy trying to destroy the country from within. So,
the division and chaos, look what it's doing to some of the conservatives and MAGA people. There's so much infighting of stupid shit because you got too many fucking egos in the way.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And let me say something.
There's no unity. There are a lot of these people that are every man for themselves.
I would take it a step further with Caroline Levitt. Why not just kick that guy out of the,
I said that.
Originally,
I said that, bro.
I want to say that you're right. And I want to say this. Originally, all the alt media was supposed to get all these opportunities for interviews. They were all supposed to get the interviews. They were going to support alt media. They had Podcast Row. A lot of people were supposed to be in the press pool. And a handful of people got that. But a lot of people applied, including the Big Mig Show, including Sam Bushman at Liberty Roundtable Lab. Never even got a call back. Never even got anything. But yet that guy, that hack, that shitty reporter that isn't going to look at things neutral, he still has a seat. He's not going to look at neutral topics. He's going to do exactly what he does, just like the Wall Street Journal, just like the New York Times, Washington Post. I guarantee they're all still in that room. Why don't you kick them the fuck out? GTFO. I don't understand why you're going to give people an opportunity that want to cause that kind of division. Why don't you, as leadership, drop the hammer? Why don't you tell all your people, as a matter of fact, here's an idea, all the administration, why don't you tell the administration you're no longer doing interviews or sound bites in any mainstream media? We're not going to do CNN. We're not going to do MSNBC. Just shut them down. I know our audience does it. They don't watch CNN. I'm saying shut them down. Just don't give them any interviews. Don't give them any. They'll have to scrape for sound bites. Throw them out of the press pool. Say, we're fed up. We're not putting up with you guys anymore. You're liars and you're scumbags. You're not in the press pool. Sorry, your press pass. You won't be allowed on grounds anymore. That's what I think.
Hold on a second, Lance.
All right, George. I like this. The Trump administration just negotiated a new trade deal with Taiwan. We give Taiwan a lot of coverage, when it comes to security, we're over there. We do everything we can to protect Taiwan, but they really haven't made a major investment in the United States. And it's always been unsettling for me that so many semiconductors are produced in Taiwan. And what happens if Taiwan does get taken by China? Again, I hope it doesn't happen, but you never know what's going to happen there. China does really want Taiwan, and you can't blame them, because between the rare earth minerals and seizing all the semiconductor business, we'd be in deep doo-doo. But the U.S. is going to reduce their tariffs by 15%, and Taiwan is committed to investing $500 billion directly into the United States. What do you think here, George?
Anything to do with kicking China's ass out and with us better, it's good. I mean, listen, we want to make trade deals. We don't want to be, we don't want everybody exporting stuff to our country without, taking in return. Or else we'll tax the shit out of you, which Democrats and liberals have a problem with, which I'll never understand, but that's their own corrupt thinking. I mean, it's always good. It's good for the economy. It's good for Americans. It's good for everybody.
I like Lutnick. I kind of like him, man. I like the way he deals with stuff. Secretary Lutnick.
Want to play
seems
a clip?
to be one of the good. Yeah, let's play the clip.
So they just bought hundreds of acres adjacent to their property. Now I'm going to let them go through it with their board and give them time. But of the $250 billion of commitment that is directly from companies. So basically, there's two commitments from Taiwan. There's $250 billion that comes directly from companies, and then there's $250 billion supplied by the government to help their smaller and medium-sized companies and bring that whole supply chain to America. So we're going to bring it all over so we become self-sufficient in the capacity of building semiconductors. This is exactly what Donald Trump said he was going to do, and he is doing it today. $250 billion and $250 billion. This is the kind of scale that Donald Trump operates in.
So it sounds like the number, I'm not.
You look at something like I can't. But
well, I think Lutnick's on track. I think what Trump's doing with tariffs is on track. Clearly, we're taking in a tremendous amount of money. I'd love to hear some solutions like paying back Social Security, all the money they owe it. I'd like to see some solutions like paying down the debt, but
all right,
let's see what happens here over the next year.
Hold on a second. So, Jim, good news, Jim. To answer your question, I'm going to show you what, sitting at this desk, what I'm looking at in front of me. This is what I'm looking at. There's 3 monitors there, but there's stuff that you don't even see, like gadgets on the desk, all the chats. I'm running switching everything, so I can't look at your, whatever the comment is. I'll look at it after the show, but this is what I'm looking at. So when you guys see me looking this way, I'm looking at all the screens and everything, see what's going on. Capiche? Good. All right, let's take us out.
All right. Well, listen, we got to take a short break. Stay tuned. While we're on the break, here's the homework. Take the live link, share it far and wide, your Facebook, your X account, your True Social, Gab and Getter, wherever you're active. Help us grow the show. Tell them to get over here and join us. Educating and unifying the country one episode at a time. That's what the Big Mig Show is all about. Be right back with George Valentine, Lance Migliaccio. Edge of the knife, baby. Tip of the spear. Stay tuned. We got more to come. Minneapolis, more coming out.
Let's go.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At cspoa.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit cspoa.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's cspoa.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit blocktrustira.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here we host Lance Migliaccio, George Valentine. We got the Big Mig Mafia in the chat, Big Mig Army out there. So if you're watching and listening, you can join the chat. Come join the chat. Why does your camera look all blurry, Lance?
I don't know about blurry, just that it's at a distance.
It's blurry.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you take that shot to like and focus a little bit.
I got to get that one camera fixed. You probably could do that. Go ahead.
You got other cameras, man. Use the other one. Anyway, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, like button, share, follow, and that red button that says Big Mig Mafia, subscribe button. $5 a month truly helps us out. But, you know, Lance and I, we got the perfect solution for the people who can't watch their crypto 24/7. That's why I'm here to tell you about BlockTrustIRA.com. They're bringing access to cryptocurrency wealth to everyday people. The exclusive Animus AI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. This is sophisticated technology, once reserved only for Wall Street insiders, but now it's available to you. And it's no surprise this system was named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. And clients are already seeing over 250% returns on their investments, all with military-grade security and up to $200 million in insurance. Your wealth is fully protected. So don't wait. Visit bigmigcrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution that's finally giving everyday Americans access to a crypto opportunity of a lifetime. Once again, visit bigmigcrypto.com today and you can get up to $2,500 of free crypto. I got the QR code right here. Take a screenshot. I'll smile. There you go. Save your photo files. I'll take you there. And by the way, if you didn't see the Crypto Power Hour show at 7 a.m. this morning, I suggest you watch today's episode because we got into the big news with what's going on with crypto, some big XRP news, some HBAR, and you probably want to go check it out. I'm telling you, big things are coming.
Yeah, nothing on the show is financial advice, but George is right. It's always important to go over there, take a look at what's going on at the Crypto Power Hour. It's Wednesdays at 7 a.m., Fridays, and it's the #1 crypto show on Rumble. We get massive views, based on the viewership on a subscriber base on Rumble. And I would tell you, #1, it's a great place to get educated about crypto. And #2, we're going to throw you some information that hopefully you will act on. You'll go to your financial advisors and say, what do you think about this? Because there is some opportunity that I don't want you to look back and be thinking about what Bitcoin was in 2009. I don't want you to think, why didn't I buy $10 of the Bitcoin and where would I be now? I think there are cryptocurrencies that are in the same situation currently, and you need to be aware of which ones they are. And it's not meme coins. Let me emphasize that. All right. Minneapolis. Do you ever think, George, that the problems in Minneapolis are all because of the leadership, right? Is it because of Tim Walz? Is it because of Frey? Is it because of the leadership of their congressional members? I would have to say yes. Bad leadership gets you bad results. And for the people in Minneapolis, you ought to vote these shitheads out. You really should. Or tell them to resign. Tell them to resign. Here's Mayor Frey, and I think he's setting an extremely bad example.
Did you see the police chief's face when he said something?
I did, but I don't like that police chief either, to be honest with you.
I
feel like that guy.
I know, he's just following the freaking status quo with the mayors. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors. We cannot be at a place right now in America where we have two governmental entities that are literally fighting one another. Why are we put in this position? We're put in this position because we have approximately 600 police officers in Minneapolis, far fewer that are able to work at any given time. And there are approximately 3,000 ICE agents in the area. 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah. He doesn't come right out and say it, but it's the inference that, fighting ICE agents in the street. It's a bad look. I only hope he steps over the line and I don't think he broke the law there. But I do believe that when you start to infer things, people make assumptions and they kind of take it to the next step. He should be trying to stop what's going on there, meaning stop people from doing what they're in the streets. Don't challenge the ICE agents, allow them to do their jobs. But that's not what he does.
Well,
he leaves it open-ended.
I'm going to tell you what this mayor's doing. He's setting up the stage for his next political run, whether it be for governor or whatever. And of course, he's only going to win in a liberal area where they're liberals or cheating, vice versa, whatever. And that's what he's doing. He's trying, they say, I have some friends in Minnesota, and they say it's not really as liberal as you think. It's a lot of Republicans. Well, I don't know. I can't fucking
honest,
tell.
I spent time up in Minneapolis. I don't like the weather, but I spent time up there in Minnesota.
They get some fucking snow.
And the weather, it's when it's cold, it's like it's ridiculous, right? It's unbelievable. It's so frigid with that cold air coming across the Great Lakes up there. It's brutal. So I don't like the weather there. But I will say this. I never ran into a bunch of liberals up there. I felt like most of the people were just regular Americans, conservative leaning family, God country family. I don't know how this happened up there, but maybe it's redistricting, maybe it's the cheating, like you said, George.
Cheating.
But these people got to go.
Cheating.
Now, you know what I'm going to say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's
what I have to say to people.
It sucks he lost an eye. Okay. But, and this is a big but, if you weren't fucking at protesting and doing stupid shit, you could protest, by the way, fine. You could peacefully protest, but don't interfere in police duties. And because you interfered, that's what happened. Now, I'm going to play this video. This happened in Southern California, a protest this week. I'm going to play his statement. I'm going to play the video, what happened after. But look at his hands.
So this is a video of what he was actually doing, George, that got him.
No, this is a video of him saying how his eye, but you want me to show the video first? You want me to show the video of him protesting?
No, let's get him lying first. But I'm saying you have the actual video of when he got hit because of what he was doing.
Yeah, I'll show that first. Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
All right, yeah. All right, so the dude in question is the one with the bullhorn that when the police officer grabbed the other protester, he tried to intervene. He got hit with a projectile. You see him go to the ground and the officers dragging him away. That's him. Now, here he is crying wolf. But I want you to look at his hand. Look at the black nail polish.
It's hard to even respond to that. Just listening to him talk, all I could think is, what a little bitch ass. And then that's my first reaction. And then my second reaction is, well, what did you expect if you were going to interfere with law enforcement? And I'm always shocked when these people, now, of course, that's probably his attorney trying to get a settlement. Oh my God, trying to fabricate emotional, it's really, can't believe they did that to him. Man, look, if you're going to battle with law enforcement, if you're going to you got to expect, they've got a lot of options, which include less lethal munitions, but those less lethal munitions at close range can cause some serious damage. Just don't go out there. Stay inside or peacefully protest. If your friend's getting arrested, he's probably going to get arrested. Do you actually think you're going to be able to stop things? I don't know. Listen to this guy's voice. I just want to vomit. That kind of, he could have come out there and said, look, I shouldn't have done what I did. They were right. I shouldn't have got out there and interfered with law enforcement, but that's not how they operate. And the video proves otherwise. Now, Minnesota daycare worker with history of erratic behavior towards children murders a baby boy and tries to strangle another infant. This is pretty unbelievable. So this 11-month-old Harvey Mucklebust was suffocated to death by this Thea Russell. And according to reports, this worker at the Rocking Horse Ranch child care facility dialed 911 on September to report that a baby, later identified as Mucklebust, was not breathing. The baby boy was transferred to a hospital where he died. 3 days prior to Mucklebust's death, authorities responded to the same daycare and found a 4-month-old infant with blood under their nose and mouth. On Wednesday, police announced they arrested Russell and charged her with second-degree murder. Russell was also charged with attempted murder for strangling another infant. Now, I have to be honest. I'm going to say exactly how this should be handled. Death penalty. This girl should get the death penalty, and I don't know that she will. I don't know what will happen in court. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. And the fact that they had a prior call and this facility didn't put her on suspension or leave why they investigated. Unbelievable. Now they've suspended the license for Rocking Horse Ranch, but can you imagine if this was your child? I don't think this is a person we want in society. If you can do this to a baby, you are a dangerous individual and you should never be allowed back in society. So my opinion, I call for the death penalty. That's my claim to it. I don't know how these parents are dealing with it. I don't know how I would deal with it. Not good. Very difficult. George?
Well, I know how I would deal with it. I'm not going to say it on the show or out loud, but put two and two together. Anyway, it's sad. It shouldn't fucking happen.
Horrible.
Breathe. Anyway,
you entrust your child to be taken care of, and that's the result.
Yep. Well, you know what? This is the problem. If the fucking everything wasn't so expensive and it got out of control over the years, if you go back to the 50s, let's go back to the 50s real quick. Everybody had a home. Everybody's married. The marriage lasted. The wife stood home and took care of the household and the kids. And, you know, kids, they didn't get in trouble like this shit you're seeing today and stuff. Problem is, and whatever. If the woman wants to go to work and the man wants to stay home, fine, no problem. But somebody needs to be home with these kids. And if the problem is, nobody can afford it anymore.
Yeah.
And if you just look, I see so many single parents, a lot of single mothers. And listen, single moms, I'm going to give you a lot of credit because, you know, they fucking work, they bust their ass, try to keep food on the table, roof over the kids' heads. Because a lot of times, I don't know what the fathers are doing, you know, child support, whatever. There's good fathers out there too, you know, divorce, whatever it is. But the mom is taking the brunt of it, sacrificing, not being able to, you know, go out because, you know what? If you go out, you need a babysitter, right? You got to pay for that babysitter if you don't have family or somebody to trust. And then you got to figure, you're going to trust the babysitters. Remember, back in the day when we were kids, we had the neighbor's kid was babysitting us, the teenage girl, whatever, you know? And, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember ever having a problem with our babysitters, but I don't know what's going on with these people.
My babysitter ended up becoming my godmother, believe it or not. Yeah. She ended up becoming a nurse too and everything. So yeah.
Quality.
So
this is a big story, George.
It is. Look,
more college sports.
No, where you going? No.
Mm-hmm.
No, researchers in Japan have created a living sensor display that monitors internal biological states using engineered skin. I don't know about this. This is led by Tokyo City University and the University of Tokyo. They developed a graph that fluorescence in response to inflammation markers. I don't know. Do you want a engineered piece of skin put on you to look at markers and stuff? I mean, it's better, I guess, better than having wires and everything, those and all this stuff hooked up to you. But I don't know. Pretty cool though. I got a little video of it. Check it out. There's no audio for that, but there you go. See the little glow in the dark thing? Soon they're going to be growing Barty pots, legs and arms.
Yeah, medical industry is changing rapidly.
I did, Lance? I don't know.
So it
I
looks
did.
like
You're
a
right.
big fraud scheme,
You're right.
Sports fraud scheme across the globe, international fraud scheme. Pretty crazy. I know, George, you're a big sports guy.
I did fucked up.
Why don't we talk about this?
Yeah, federal prosecutors indicted 26 people for allegedly fixing college basketball games and widespread conspiracy. Now get this. You know where this all started? In the Chinese Basketball League.
Crazy.
It started there and then ended up in the NCAA. They got players to shave points, thrown off games. I mean, imagine you're a bettor. What I want to know is any of the Vegas or betting apps, involved in this? I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know if you had, Lance, but
no, I hadn't even actually heard this story. So I'm letting you run with the ball here because I don't know much about it and I don't want to talk about something I don't know about. But am I surprised there's, conspiracy to commit fraud in sports? No, of course.
They bribe these college players to underperform and help ensure their team failed to cover the spread in certain games.
I mean,
in
you know,
sports
you got
books.
these college guys that, you know, of course they want to make money. You know, why wouldn't they shave some points knowing that they were getting paid 10 or 30,000 a game to shave those points? It's a lot of money for a young guy. You know, look, doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, as a former NBA player, that Antonio Blansky, that was among those charged. And, you know, 4 months ago, you seen NBA players and coaches and stuff that got charged in same type of scheme, you know, drawing off games, you know, missing baskets and stuff. So,
well,
basketball unless you're really paying attention to what's going on, you know, it's easy to say you missed a basket or stuff, but I don't know. Football, I think the refs are involved, to be honest with you, in the NFL.
I think there's a lot of people. I think if that you know, sports bet, my personal take on sports betting, having been around a lot of it, you know, I was around a lot of illegal gambling in New York as a child, watching it go on where they were, you know, handicapping and sports betting and all the dialogue in between. I think if you're betting on sports, you can count on the fact that there's a certain amount of fraud occurring in every single sport. And I think that you're taking a chance every time you bet on a game. If you're thinking you're going to get a fair outcome, I think you're sadly mistaken. I think there's more of this going. I agree with you. The refs are involved and many other people, even the information. I knew back then that professional sports, you know, trainers and physical therapists were providing information to the organized crime in New York about injuries that weren't really public, pulled hamstrings, twisted knees, bad ankles, where players were going to play, but they really weren't going to play to the best of their ability because they were hurt. And that was not public information. And that was a lot of it. Or when there was an injury that was so serious, they would put that information out way prior to it going public, with maybe somebody was going in for shoulder surgery or elbow surgery. And that would change the handicapping. And of course, a lot of the organized crime knew those things because they were paying the medical examiners, the doctors, and the rest of them for information before it was taken to the press. And that was before internet. That was when the newspapers would cover those items.
If you look at the WNBA, so Caitlin Clark is a great example. Best basketball player out there, and she came in the league last year. She draws so much money where she plays, where she fills the stands, but yet players and other teams were butchering her, hacking her, and refs weren't calling any fouls and stuff. It was crazy. Yeah. Almost to a point where, you know, she did end up getting injured, and to a point where almost, you know, actually going to drive her away from the league. She was going to go play probably in Spain or somewhere. Yeah. I mean, your number one money maker, bringing money to the league, and that's how you're going to treat her. It's just stupid.
Well, it's shame on the other athletes for doing it because they couldn't effectively play her fairly. Shame on them. I mean, their game wasn't good enough to play her fairly. So what did they do? They had to trip her, check her, bump her, elbow her, hit her, you know, hip check, do everything they could to hurt her. Yep. And that's just pathetic. And I think at the end of the day, you have to, as the WNBA should have thrown the gauntlet down. If we see that you're creating this practice, you will be banned from the league. And I think those players would have modified their behavior immediately. But again, no gauntlet from the WNBA. They just went ahead and allowed it to continue, which was dangerous for her and dangerous for the game. All right, soft on crime. Does anybody out there in the audience, I got to ask, does anybody out in the audience believe that these judges should pay the consequences for their bad rulings and their unfair rulings? Here's another child. This is in Clark County, Nevada. So a guy, that's the child. Rubino broke both of this child's legs and beat him till his brains and retinas hemorrhaged. What was the judge's solution? Let's put a picture up of this vicious monster, Christian Rubino. What does the judge do? Gives him a free pass for this savage torture and murder of his ex-girlfriend's toddler, Kay Tesoro. What does he get? He gets 5 years probation. No jail time, no consequences. He gets probation. Tell me when homicide or manslaughter or whatever you want to title this gets you 5 years probation. I think this is what happens when you give a lifetime appointment and you give judges absolute immunity. If I was the governor of Nevada, I would pass a law immediately that if your ruling is considered unjust, that the judge has to go serve the time that would have been in the case. I think this is homicide.
Well, I gotta
I think
ask.
if you beat a kid like this and you break his legs, a little child like this, and this is your response, I think this judge, and I think the case should be overturned. And I can't believe the
Lance,
governor would
you're
allow this.
going all this, but here's the question: what did the prosecutors charge the guy with?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Well, that matters.
Yeah,
it matters because hold on, Lance, hold on. As much as this guy would disappear, it doesn't regardless. But you want to talk about the law and stuff, you have to know what he was charged with. It's not this point; it's before the judge because the prosecutors didn't charge him with murder. We don't know. I don't even know what the charges are. It doesn't seem like if he got charged with murder, then there's mandatory sentence on that. So it seems like he didn't get charged with murder. I mean, but clearly, he should have got charged with torture, kidnapping. I mean, it's crazy. 5 years probation? Definitely crazy. He shouldn't be walking the earth. I'm pretty sure he won't be soon either. I don't know. Crazy.
I disagree with you, but it's okay.
What do you mean you disagree? You don't know what he got charged with.
Let's promote
hold on.
crime. Let's just go soft on crime. Let's just do this. Why don't we just get rid of all the laws?
No.
Let's go Wild West. I'll become a gunslinger. I'm happy to do it. This guy, listen, how many times does a judge, George, from the bench, modify or change the law to the benefit of individuals? Forget what the prosecutor did. How many times have you seen a judge get on the bench and start promoting law from the bench in all cases across the United States? It happens every single day. If the judge didn't like what he'd been charged with, don't tell me that an activist judge wouldn't have done the opposite. He would say, well, I don't believe these should be charged with this, so I'm not going to rule on it. We see these judges pulling jackass moves across the country. So instead, we're going to put this dangerous individual back on the street after he just killed a toddler. You're going to tell me that a judge doesn't
I'm not telling you anything. I'm just telling you that you don't know what he got charged with. So you can't really, by law, you can't sentence somebody if it doesn't equate to the charge. Hold on.
Here's the bottom line.
Hold on. No, here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. You don't want to listen? You're the law guy? Come on, dude. Look what he did with Tina Peters. Now it's in appellate court. So if he would have gave him years for murder that doesn't equate to the sentencing guidelines, it would have been appealed anyway. Waste of fucking time. This is on the prosecutors.
We're continuing to put bad people on the street, and this is what we're perpetuating. You kill a toddler, you should face the consequences.
Of course, 100%. I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Let's wrap it up here. Because I disagree with you completely.
Well, then you don't know about the law if you're saying that then.
Yeah. Well, that's your opinion.
No, that's a
All
fact.
Right, listen, we're done here on the Big Mig.
Oh,
show.
we're not done. No.
No.
We're not done. You want to leave, you can leave. I'm doing this story because you brought it up. We're doing it. We're not going to end on this note. All right, guys. Look, he left. He can't. You know what the problem is? Hold on. Let me switch the fucking screen. He can't handle the fucking facts and the thing of the matter. That's the problem right now. Too bad. He's got 4 fucking paralegal degrees. So what's the point if a judge gives him 30 years for murder when he wasn't charged with murder? He was charged with whatever the stupid little offense. It's going to get thrown away in appellate court. It's a waste of fucking time anyway. What happens is the prosecutors, you have to go, what the prosecutors charge him with? Why didn't the prosecutors charge him with murder? That's where it's at. All right. I'm going to put this up because Lance found this. He wanted my opinion on it. So I want everybody else's opinion. Here's a single mom. She's blowing up on TikTok for creating a date deposit app. So she will only date men who pre-deposit her date preparation costs ahead of time. Yeah, you heard me right.
After I said I would require a deposit to take me on a date to cover my date preparation costs, I'm now working with an app developer to make this a reality. This is actually happening. We are building the app. I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you this is the best damn dating app you have ever seen, because there is a clear difference here where the woman can set the deposit rate and the man can pay for her date preparation costs. So as a woman, you're going to walk into the date already so happy, and that's going to lead to a better date and a better connection, and that gives the man a better chance of succeeding in courting you. The app is called Courted. So when people ask, how did you meet? You can say, he courted me. So cute. The website already looks absolutely stunning, and the app itself, incredible. All of the features are so unique and nothing like you've ever seen on any dating app. Oh, and to everyone who said you can't do that, guess what? I just did. So we are going to launch this city by city. And if you want early access, click the link in my bio and sign up. Let's make dating fun again. Love you.
Yeah, no. She can go fucking kick rocks. And any woman that's on the app can go kick rocks, because this is what's gonna happen, right? So if you look, a bunch of women can go on this app and then just go on first dates just so they can make money. Think about it. I mean, you want a deposit from me. I want to be able to put a deposit at the end of the day too, then. I want some guarantees. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't even use that app. But think about it. That's like prostitution, because you're paying for the girl. Nah. No. That's a girl I wouldn't want to date. Negative. Don't ever set me up on a date with someone like that, or you guys would be on the shit list. All right. So I'm going to close out. It's Friday. It's the weekend. Where's Lance? Oh, Lance left. That's right. Oh, well. Let me put some music on for you guys. Let me find something good. No, I don't want that. We'll go with this. All right. It's Friday. It's the weekend. You all have a blessed weekend. Thanks for showing up. We'll bring it on. Listen, I'm all about healthy debate and opinions. I'm going to voice my opinion. I expect Lance to do the same. I don't know. It is what it is. I know he hates when he sees kids get hurt. So do I. That piece of shit should be buried 6 feet under. But if you want to talk about law and guidelines, then you got to talk about law and guidelines. There's a difference. Have a blessed week, and I love you guys. Peace out.
I might have to let it drop. Said got it hella big, had to put it back again, like said had to put it hella big, had to put it.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA. The future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.